Hey everybody, it's your old pal Ken, aka Sleaze Grinder, frankly legendary rock and roll writer from Classic Rock and Metal Hammer magazines. And guess what? It's Friday. We made it. TGIF. Pray for the weekend, not your soul. That's what I say. And we finally made it. We have 2 days to do whatever it is that we want to do, and we're going to want a good soundtrack for it. So that's where this comes in. It's time for the Weekend Metal Report. First thing I'm going to do is tell you about some things that came out today. You can enjoy them. However, just try to do it responsibly, but enjoy them in whatever format you like, because it's all available to you. Now, the first one I want to tell you about is a band called Barricade. They're from San Antonio. You know, back in the 70s, San Antonio was one of the biggest hard rock towns in America. And they were one of the first towns that really embraced heavy metal as well. But you don't hear about a lot of bands from San Antonio these days. I don't know why, but you're going to hear about this one. They're called Barricade. They have a new EP. It's called Apocalypse Joyride. And it is going to melt your face right off. It'll just be a skeleton with googly eyeballs and just gooping gore, because it is a mind fryer. Now, what are they? I don't know. Call them whatever you want. Punk, metal, hardcore, garage punk. I don't know. But I just want you to experience it, because it is a killer. Barricade with Apocalypse Joyride. The weird thing of it is, though, is that it's a 12-inch, and it's like 5 minutes worth of music. There's 4 songs, and each one is like a minute and a half. So I don't know why you needed 12 inches for that, but that's what you get. Dead Wax is going to be like this thick. But anyway, incredible record. Check it out. Next one out now. You can get that on Bandcamp. This one you can also get on Bandcamp. So there's a band, Crippled Black Phoenix, whose name I had heard but hadn't heard actually until very recently, who play a kind of like a really strange kind of dark rock, I would say. And by the way, I might love it. I gotta look into it a little more, but I might love it. But anyway, they have an offshoot band. It's called Johnny the Boy, and they have a record out today, also available on Bandcamp. It's called You, and it is fantastic. It's like sleazy, snarly, black and roll, like Satyricon when they were really good, or any of the more modern black thrash bands. If you're into that kind of stuff, you got to check out Johnny the Boy. Record's called You, and it's a killer. Now, I forget the name of the album I'm about to tell you now. It's called Race of Time, maybe. Something like that. But the name of the band is Vipera. And it's only available on CD. It's on Frontiers Records. But I have been cranking this record all week long, and I think you're really going to dig it if you like hard rock. Now, these guys, they're from Sweden. They're a Swedish melodic metal band with an 80s flavor, although I will say very fresh. Musically, I might put them somewhere between, let's mix Whitesnake and Savatage, maybe. That's what you might get. You got big hooks, you got great vocals, you got killer shreddy guitars, and excellent songcraft. I love it a lot. Every song is really memorable. If you like that kind of stuff, you're going to like Vipera. And finally this week, from Bavaria, which I think is a really cool place to be from. I don't really know where Bavaria is. It's got something to do with Germany. The band is called Mystic Prophecy, which sounds like a power metal band, but not really. Mystic Prophecy, they have a new record. It's called Hell Riot. It's their 12th record, and it is a epic metal masterpiece. I would only describe them this way. They are as heavy as pure heavy metal can be. Another great record with fantastic songwriting and excellent musicianship, and just, hooks and melodies for days, but super heavy. So that's what's out this week that you should check out. Now, as far as last week goes, I mentioned this band, and the record finally got here. It's Legion of the Damned with Poison Chalice, and man, it is everything I expected it to be. As I mentioned, these are a Dutch death thrash band, and this is their 8th record. I'm way late on the bandwagon. So if you see me talking, if you're on, I see me on the street talking about them, you can call me a poser if you want. But I love it. So check that out. Now, I want to get to how much time do I? Okay, all right. Here's what I want to say. So last week, I went to Purchase Street Records in New Bedford, which I have mentioned before is the place to go if you are trying to replace your 80s teenage dirtbag heavy metal collection. And that's what I'm trying to do. In fact, I think that I've mostly got mine back, but I had a friend, Luke, who also had a good one, and he had different records than mine because, of course, we were trying to fill in all the gaps. So now I'm trying to get his records. And I got one of his records, and I was very excited about it. This one, like heart palpitations when I saw it. It's Purgatory. They were from Cleveland, Ohio, and this was their only record. They had an EP before this that's even more expensive than this one. But they were not exactly thrash, but not exactly not thrash either. They sounded basically like a thrashy Wasp, and they were really good. And this is a great record, Tied to the Tracks from Purgatory. It's from 1986 on Auburn Records, home of Black Death. And it's a great one. It cost me $70. I didn't think twice. Had to have it. Very excited about that. Also, one of the very first Bay Area thrash metal bands that gets almost no recognition these days. Their first record. It's Laz Rocket. City's Gonna Burn. I actually think this is probably not possible, but this actual copy seems familiar to me. Like this might be my actual copy from 1986. I don't know. It feels like it. Is that crazy? Might be. But anyway, this is a great record if you like thrash metal from the early days, and it's a killer. So really happy to have that one. The other one, this guy. When I was younger, I wasn't super into shreddy guitars. Now I love them, and this guy was one of the all-time classics. So I didn't have this one when I was a kid, but I used to see it all around because it looked really cool. Now I have it, and it is really cool. It's Akira Takasaki, and he was, of course, guitar player from Loudness solo record. Look how cool that is. And man, he's shredding like crazy in it, and it's beautiful. I love it. Too bad I missed out on it when I was a kid. But I thought shredding was bullshit when I was a kid, but now I'm wicked into it. Okay. Also, Uncle Sam was a fantastic band that I don't feel like ever got their recognition. And sometimes I learned my lesson. I wrote about TKO in Classic Rock magazine, band from Seattle that I absolutely loved. And I was lamenting in this. The story was basically me lamenting that they never got to be as big as they should have been because I really love them. And then Brad Sensel, the singer, frontman, his rebuttal on that on Facebook was like, looks like we did okay to me. And it was like a picture of them playing some festival for like 50,000 people. So, I've learned my lesson about lamenting about whether people should have been bigger or smaller or whatever they were. Whatever happened is what happened. I kind of thought that Uncle Sam should have deserved more recognition. I guess I'm doing my best right now to give them recognition. They were a sleazy hard rock band from Rochester, New York. They had 2 albums. The first one was this one, Heaven or Hollywood. I forget what year it was. 87. This is the censored version, by the way. She's not wearing anything in the uncensored version. A little bit harder to get. But really great, catchy, sleazy, hooky. But their second album was even better, and it's been harder to find lately. Not expensive, but just kind of hard to find. And I picked that one up as well at Purchase Street. This one is Letters from London, which is their best song. And if you like, really cool, if you like Hanai Rocks, if you like Dogs D'Amour, if you like Gunfire Dance, bands like that, you are going to like Uncle Sam quite a bit. And these, it takes a little digging to find these records, but they're not expensive when you do. They're like $10 records. This one cost me $25, but they're $10, $15 records usually. Okay, so those are some stuff that I picked up from a purchase. Now, before I go, I just want to show you a couple more records. I picked these up at the Music Research Library, which is a newish record store in Boston. And I think, here's what I think. I like the gumption that Music Research Library has, because their thing, what they basically sell is library records, which were popular in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And I'm sure you know this, but maybe you don't. That they were studio musicians making these stock records of similar sounds for TV and film. So if you were making a action movie and you had a chase scene, you needed music for a chase scene, you'd go to the library, KPM or whatever. You look at action, pull it out. Oh, here's one. It's called Chase Scene. That's the music that you do. So it became really popular with record collectors around the 2000s, 2010s, and that's what these guys basically sell. They sell other stuff too, but that's what they basically sell. And I just think it's audacious that these guys have opened this store for a really niche, collector. They've opened this store in Beacon Hill, which is the most expensive neighborhood in Boston, which is the most expensive city in America. The balls on these guys, it's incredible. But I love the store. There's always something good. And I bought a couple of things that I really like from them. This first one. So this guy, Baris Menko, he is a Turkish, he died in 1999, Turkish musician. Also, he was like an actor and a TV host and all this kind of stuff. He was very well known in Turkey. And he played Turkish psychedelic music. And this record, here's what's so special about this record, is he made this record in 1975. But he wanted you to listen to it. That's right. In 2023, now is the perfect time to listen to this record. And it's a fantastic, it's got fuzz guitars, it's got spacey synths, it's got flutes, it's got the whole thing. It's a total killer, and you got to check it out. It's on Gerson, which is the reissue label that always delivers. It's a fantastic record. Super happy to have it. I love it. Baris Menko 2023. Check that out. Not metal, but great. But is metal and is also great is Evil Blood. So Evil Blood was, it's called Midnight in Sodom. This is their 1988 demo. It's on Buried in Time and Dust. They were a Croatian thrash metal band. And you can tell at the time that they were like, we are going to make the nastiest, hardest, heaviest, sickest record in the world. But they're in Croatia, so they're like, we got Venom, we got Motorhead, we got First Sodom, and we got Slayer. And that's what we got. They didn't know that everybody had surpassed them in all these sort of ways, but they did it as heavy as they possibly could in Croatia in 1988, and I love it. It's endearing. It sounds like they recorded it in a suitcase, but it's got really a lot of replayability, which I was surprised at because it's so lo-fi, but it's really endearing and fun, and I love it. Evil Blood, so check that out. All right, so there you go. There's some stuff. I'm down to the wire on time. So listen, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you stay heavy. Do me a favor and don't break the oath. And I'll see you next time on the Weekend Metal Report.